Let's go. All right. So today's a good day, as you can tell. Uh, let's get into it. So what are we gonna talk about today? Welcome back. We're gonna talk about autonomy. We're gonna talk about focus. We're gonna talk about uh almost to a degree spiteful gratitude because you kind of need that for life. Um, what else? What else? And a little bit of systematic thinking and how kind of that works all together, right? So let's get right into it. For starters, welcome back um, to the most focused YouTube channel ever. Uh, and let's start off with focus. Well, for focus, which I've realized over the time, focus really deeply roots down to the breath. It deeply roots down to your eyesight. It deeply roots down to your um, to what you hear. Basically, all the senses, right? And focus to a degree has a lot to do with creating an equivalent distraction, right? Because you already have distractions. You have fear. Let me take off my glasses. You have fear. You have insecurities. You have uh, sex, sugar, shopping, scrolling. You have all these things that are pulling you, right? And focus is the art of creating a distraction for your senses equivalent, if not better, than those, so that you can just become completely obsessed with it. You know what I'm saying? You can become completely obsessed with it, and you might be asking yourself, "Oh, what do I focus on? I have no clue what you're talking about. Shit, I don't." Right. Uh, what that basically means, and I'll put in perspective, is you have to create. I already said you have to create your own distraction. You have to create your own obsession, something that you are completely infatuated with. What's mine? Potential. Just potential in all aspects, right? Where it's like, well, what am I capable of, right? And then you go down the list, health. What kind of health am I capable of? Then your mind can kind of start going and you can start kind of envisioning and seeing all these things get put together, which is like, well, what's the best body I could have? What's the fastest mile I could possibly run? What's the best deadlift I could do? Shoot, what kind of sports can I get into? Gymnastics, soccer, uh, bodybuilding, all kinds of, just your mind wants to, that's what you want to do. You want to create a distraction so potent and so that'll make you just obsessed, right? And you want it to take up all your senses. When you think about it, you want to see it. When you think about it, you want to hear it, right? Maybe you want to run. Like for me, I love sprinting. Maybe I want to sprint. Maybe my potential is faster than the fastest I've ever seen, right? And you want to hold that. And to a degree, it's like the last episode I was talking about small steps and how important it is to have those things. So I'm gonna try to combine those two, which is like, well, what's the smallest step I can take in that direction, right? Let's say the body of my dreams, right? We're sticking with health right now, which is like the most important in my opinion. What what could we do with that? What could we do with that? And so you want to create a very potent, source for you to focus on, and you wanted to let it take up all your senses, right? Part of also being focused is paying attention to uh, you want to pay attention to your habits and you want to become aware. You want to see these things, right? Because depending where you are right now in your journey, you might not see. There are certain things that you might not see that you might still want to keep refining and chipping away at, which is like, yo, I hate this habit. I don't like this habit, right? Or I should probably reposition this habit because it's probably better to put it over here. Gratification is one of those things where it's like, well, you usually want to put the stuff that makes you feel really good at the end of, just at the end of a couple other habits, right? Like I love eating a muffin with a coffee after I've done my morning stuff, right? Showered, drank, hydrate, so on and so forth. I'm going to go on to the second one, which is a very cool habit that I began to adopt that I really, really enjoy, and it changes a lot significantly for me. The first thing I actually do when I wake up, and it changes everything for me. It actually does. So, what is it? And it's to the next topic, which is autonomy. You want to have your own autonomous thought. Now, it's very easy to wake up, pick up, get your phone ready, and start packing away. That's There's so many enticing things in that little piece of machinery and glass, isn't there? Right? So enticing, especially when you wake up and there's nothing to do, just a nice bright screen full of colors and stuff you could do. Problem. Uh, this habit that I'm talking about is really one that's gonna help a lot, and it's gonna help you. It's gonna help introduce a bit more of more autonomy into your life, because there are things that are constantly pulling. Right? You want more autonomy. You need autonomy. The first thing I do when I wake up, and this you're gonna be like, oh wow, yeah, pray and uh, a a praise. Like I mentally give myself compliments in Spanish and in English because I'm bilingual, and God knows any other languages that I might learn, I'll be doing it like that too, right? Let's say I'm in China and I know Chinese. I'm gonna start praising myself in Chinese in my head. Shit, my prayers might be in Chinese, right? So that's something you want to do. You want to start to appreciate. You want to start to appreciate mentally yourself. You want to appreciate the reality. You want to appreciate everything. And this goes to the topic, which is like having spiteful gratitude. And you need to have this thing automatic in your head. And I'm talking about the mental mindset kind of thing that you constantly have running, right? It's how you can use your awareness to your advantage. Every single scenario you see, you want to see it as you want to spitefully just be like, yeah, the best. You got, I don't know, something in the mail that you don't really like, or this or that happened, and so on and so forth. You want to be you want to be like, let's go. Because this is one of the best things that I've seen. And especially because I learned this while I was running on a treadmill. Eventually, it hurts. It hurts. You're working out. I'm like, ow. and, and it's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. And truth be said, and you can see this in all the self-help stuff. Discomfort is discomfort is what you need to run towards. Discomfort is where you change, and where weakness leaves the body is where you begin to evolve and you begin to change. Your mind shifts and everything, right? So yeah, spiteful gratitude. Have to have such a spiteful gratitude to everything and be like, yo, and I know obviously like you can resonate. Obviously, like if there are things in your life that are happening and it's very difficult for you to be grateful for, all I'm saying, look, I'm not saying like smile through tragedy, although I kind of am. I'm saying have that always running in the back of your mouth, in your mind. How is this an opportunity? Good. How can this help me? Yes. All right. Okay. And it's gonna be uncomfortable, but you have to root for your own discomfort. You gotta root for it. You gotta be like, yeah, let's go. This is gonna challenge us. This is gonna make us better, right? And you wanna see it like you wanna clap like it's the beginning of a movie, and you're gonna change and develop your character at the end of it. That's how you want to do it. That's how you want to kind of frame your mind, so every single little challenge doesn't begin to defeat you, because easily. And this is what I've seen happens. One thing happens, okay, you don't have a system for it. Another thing happens, okay, and it begins to transform your mind, and then you begin to think that those things are not there to help you when they actually are. It's all about how you perceive and how you personally look at certain things, i.e., which is why it's very important. And this is why I do this literally the first thing I do in the morning. I appraise myself mentally. I give myself great words. I tell myself amazing things. I advocate for myself, and I look for proof for it, right? I don't just blindly do it. I say, hey, my God, you brushed your teeth. I know it sounds very small, but yeah, you brushed your teeth before bed every night. Or you, my God, you did your laundry. It's little stuff. You want to appreciate and appraise the little things, because back to the previous episode, which was like, yo, it's these little steps towards that big direction that make a huge shift and change you completely. Change you completely. And back to that, which is like, well, if you have that big goal that you're really looking for and you're looking to achieve and you want to get it, you got to think big, start small, appreciate the small steps with that in the back of your head, with that saying, wow, my potential. I can't wait to see what I could do. I can't wait to see what I'm capable of. And every single time you see a little challenge, you go ahead and you say, oh yeah, this is good. Let's get it. Right? It's you want to begin to create that system for yourself. And now we're going to talk about systems and how we can actually do it. Now, this part of the episode is a little bit more uh left-minded, if I would say. So stick around, really, because I'm gonna basically help, basically put a whole system together for you, right? If it makes sense, it makes sense. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But let's do it. So, quite literally, the way that this would work is, well, we already have. So you already have, let's say, you have your 16 hours or 17 hours that you're awake. Anytime besides that you're asleep, that's 8 to 7 hours of sleep that you get on average every single day. Cool. Now you go ahead and you say, all right, well, throughout what time of the day am I actually gonna develop this system, and how does it actually work? Now, for work, for what I consider to be work, I could be doing a plethora of things, whatever it might be. The whole point is I'm working towards that direction. I'm developing my greatest potential. And that's what's going to help me stay focused across all points and times, regardless of what challenge might come about. I'm focused on my potential. Another thing is, not only is my potential the focus, the other is we're going to create a shell around this concept, right? Which is like, well, what happens when something comes? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to create that layer of spiteful gratitude, right? You create that layer of spiteful gratitude. So you're focused on your goal, man, my potential. Then something comes good. This is going to help me get there even quicker, right? You want to have that outer shell. And when do you create that outer shell? You create that outer shell in the beginning and then at the end of your day. How? You develop gratitude. You develop spiteful gratitude to everything that's going on in your life, and you appreciate the small little steps that you do, right? So it very much looks like a core. It looks like a dot with a thing around it. A big reason I made that specific symbol. I put it on the back of the Devote sweater as a reminder, because it really uh, that shape and that concept translates across many different concepts. It's actually incredible. So that's that. And so in the middle you have your vision, and at the edges of it you have your devotion. So in the middle you say, oh, this is exactly what I really want to do. I mean, I really want to get this thing done. This is the absolute most best thing. This is my potential. On the outer shell you have your level of devotion, which is your ability to transform and to completely shift, and you're saying, well, let me finish this part, which is like your ability to transform negative, to see the positive amongst the negative things, right? And then you're gonna be like, all right, well, how does this translate towards your schedule? Well, it does, because, well, at the morning you appreciate yourself, at the night you appreciate yourself, and in the morning, in the middle of the day, is when you are going after your potential. That's it from me. As always, a link to the sweater will be down below. A link to the mentorship where you can work with me one-on-one, down below. Newsletter down below. And if you got anything from this episode, please, please, please leave a like. And I will see you on the next one.